The following is a fan-based discussion. All properties discussed are property of Toei Inc., Bandai, Hasbro, and Subaru Productions.
Hello everybody and welcome to Tokucast Reviews Part 2.
Yeah!
Mm-hmm.
The coffee is still working through me.
Good. Let it flow through you.
But yeah, today we're doing two of the specials for Lupat.
Still. Mainly because Marcus wants to put off build as much as possible.
Speaking of which, we gotta talk about our stream.
Off camera.
So first, we're going to do the Another Patranger special. And then we're going to talk about LupatKyuu, which I'm very excited to talk about. First, let's do the Another Patranger.
It's alright.
I actually quite like it because, you know, especially if you end up watching this right, and I think it came out around the time of episode 41, 42, when this character comes back.
Mm-hmm.
So it actually hurts worse.
That's one way to put it, I suppose.
It's just like, hey, do you like pain? Here's some pain for you. We actually know about this character now. Because this all deals with Sakuya's predecessor.
The previous Patranger, the original.
Yes, before they got the actual VS changers and all of that. And we're fighting the ganglers with just regular guns, which they show specifically don't work.
Yeah, that was weird.
How so?
Just seeing them use regular guns to fight the monsters.
Yeah.
It's something we very, very rarely see.
Yeah, especially in this show, because they got them in, like, very nearly in the first episode.
Yeah, in the first episode they get him, and that just makes me think, like, how long were they
around? How
long were they a unit before they actually got their Sentai powers?
Yeah. Because it makes it seem like this happened...
Because they could not take down a single one of them.
No, they couldn't.
Just like with even with all their training and even with the weapons they had, they couldn't take a single one of these things down.
Which makes me think that these are sort of a new threat, and this must have happened like right before the show started.
Mm-hmm.
Which would make sense. It doesn't seem like they would end up, you know, just having those regular guns for long, especially after they found out that they don't work.
Mm. So, do you think the that particular task force was assembled just to like fight crime in that particular area?
Yeah,
or the global police, it's like a branch of Interpol. They're just like out, you know, doing what they do, fighting crime, and then this new threat arises, and that's when they get commissioned to go after the ganglers.
Which would make sense, especially in terms of how this show works. Because this all seems like they don't give us a very specific time frame, but it all seems like it would happen not too long before the Lupinranger started to really become a really big thing.
Yeah.
And it was just interesting to see how the team dynamic was a little bit different, of this Nego being a little bit more smug in this case, a little bit more aloof than Sakuya's over-eagerness in some cases.
Yeah.
So it was good to see the actual characterization of this person. I really wish I would have watched this in order, because if I were to watch this before he came back in the show, that would have been a different thing.
Because this does serve as an origin story for how our team came to be, and it also gives you a little more of an insight into Sakuya's character and how he feels like he has a lot to live up to.
Also, Lupinrangers aren't in this.
They're in it for a spell, but not very much.
Not even in suit. You see them once, and then you see them again in the cafe.
It does say featuring Lupinranger, not versus Lupinranger.
So that it was good to have something like that, especially when you know, each team will show up at every episode normally.
Yeah.
But now it's just like, this ain't yours. This ain't your story. Stay over there.
Matt, any thoughts on what we said so far?
Not really. I mean, no offense, you guys take a lot of the thoughts that I have and say them better.
No, I see.
Yeah, it definitely hurts a little bit.
I do words good.
And especially at the end of the special.
You take the victories where you can.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the special, the guy ends up showing back up inside the cafe, but he's facing away from them so they don't recognize him. And then he had to die soon after.
Yeah.
Before his body got snatched and taken over by that one gangler. Oof. Because there was such a short time frame.
Unless that was already him.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
The momentary gears turning, I could just
No, I
see.
thought about that. I was like, when I watched it last night, I was like, but at the
You don't
same
think
time-
you don't think it's possible because you don't think it's possible his body was snatched like not long after the debris collapsed on him?
No, because if he would have had to go to France first. It had to have happened in France that he came back. Then his body had to have gotten snatched because otherwise he wouldn't have looked back at them, sort of fondly or whatever when he was leaving the cafe.
Or maybe it wasn't a look of fondness, it was a look of mwahaha, you'll never know what I'm planning.
I feel like they would paint it on just a little bit harder if it was that, though.
Because if you're painting it that way, then in your words, oof. It's my team. There they are. This coffee's delicious. I think I'm gonna go out for a walk and enjoy the lovely summer breeze. Body snatched.
Yes,
and then dead.
Freezes him, takes his skin off, and disposes of him.
Gross.
Charming, really.
In retrospect, this one's a little bit harder.
What is it? A family picture.
In retrospect, this one's just... It's sort of brutal because you know what happens to him.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn. Okay. All right. Nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on to LupatKyuu. It's a very long title, so that's how we refer to everything with Lupat in.
Yes.
Oh shit.
Lupinranger versus Patranger versus Kyuranger versus Pikachu.
Featuring Dante.
Featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series.
Subspace Emissary.
Colon Subspace Emissary. Resurrection.
And Knuckles.
And Knuckles.
Subtitle: No, we still don't have Waluigi.
The twin snakes.
Yeah, let's talk about this one. One, I think this is up until the next one, this is probably the best versus movie that we've had in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, want to know one of the reasons why? It feels like an actual movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not episode of this, episode of that.
And then they fight
Which
together.
I know is more of a Kamen Rider thing, but it's still annoying.
It's not so much, both teams are really sidelined at the beginning of this.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, at the beginning of this, we get to see the new Mr. Super Sentai, because it's no longer Kenji Oba. It's now Beatbuster. Coming back as a thief because he got transported to another universe.
Was he the one with the fro?
Yep.
That was him?
Yep. He's Mr. Super Sentai now.
He is... Hats off to you. Get that money, son.
Yeah, he was in Kyuranger too.
That's right, he was.
But I do like the fact that they're actually...
I just didn't know it was him.
I do like the fact that we're
And if I knew, I forgot.
building off of the portals that they actually used in Kyuranger that link to other universes.
Yeah.
So it's not just...
Did we really have to make it another universe, though?
Kyuranger?
Kyuranger, kind of.
Did we have to, though?
Yeah, because Earth was conquered.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have made sense otherwise.
Alright, fair enough.
Especially when they
This
make
is
a point.
the only...
I forgot about that.
This is the only Sentai where I will give it a pass for being in a separate universe.
Yeah, because it's sort of...
And wasn't that a thing in the actual show? That's how Ranger got there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's how they went to the Ranger and Gavin universe.
Right.
Okay, my mistake.
I guess the Versus universe nowadays, but I don't really know.
But anywho...
It's not Power Rangers. They did it better. No, sorry. Sentai did it better was the they I was referring to.
So, how do you want to break this one down?
It was good.
Yeah. It's been such a long time that when I first saw this movie, I'm sitting here like, I actually enjoyed a Versus Sentai movie.
This movie was not bad.
Yeah.
It was not bad.
Let's not break it down. Let's just talk about what we like, what we didn't like.
I love the fact that it was Lucky who came in immediately and then he got arrested.
Yeah. But it makes sense.
And then Balance and Naga showing up the
Balance
first
and
time.
Naga's introduction scene was so funny.
It was amazing.
It was perfect comedic editing and timing. Where it's just close up on this person, the camera pans over and Naga's there and he's joined in the conversation. We pan over and Balance is there, he's joined in the conversation. They're like, yes, that's right.
Who are you?
I just thought the whole ransom part is like we're really only worth 5,000 each. How dare you?
It wasn't 5,000, it was 150,000, which is like less than $200.
Yeah, it is. Well, I'm talking about like in yen.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I'm talking about the original. Also, Kurobe gets some good moments here when he has to pretend the part where he and Noelle is trying to give him his Lupin collection, his Lupin changer and whatnot, because it's like the Patrangers have to give over their Lupin pieces or we will not release them from our capture. And that scene of it's like, please take it. No, I can't. Please take it. Oh, but I can't. No, but take it. Oh, and then he does like a little Kurobe does that little fourth wall break where he sticks his tongue out at the camera. That was pretty cute.
I will say that the whole setup was a little thin. With it being around that guitar made of hyperplanetesium.
Oh, you drop a marble on it, it's gonna break.
Yeah. So you're like,
But that's most of these movies.
And then
let's
of course,
a hitherto unforeseen bad guy is like, ha, I'm going to conquer everything.
To be fair, they basically set this up already in Kyuranger.
Did they?
Because it's another clone of Don Armagi, which was like his whole thing.
Yeah.
Just making clones of himself.
He is Emperor.
But this one is Don Armagi. Oh, they also make a point of the pun on Don Armagi's name when Keiichiro is like interrogating Lucky.
Yeah.
And he was like, Don Armagi, he was like, that's just an anagram of Armageddon! How dare you!
So it is.
I love that.
Keiichiro's good at anagrams, I guess.
I just love that. I'm saying like this man is amazing. He's just so 10 out of 10. And then Whole Soldier coming in, being himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolute bastard.
Does he have any other setting?
No, and that's why I love him.
Yeah, of course it is.
How about Zuo the World showing up? I seriously had to double take and be like, who the hell's this guy?
And then he was like, oh!
But then he started to transform and I was like, oh, what the hell's he doing here? And then he literally runs out of the movie, smacking people with his appendages as he leaves. My series never got a crossover movie.
Thanks, Tusk. I love that, though. I thought that was amazing. It was just so funny. He was like, who are you? He was like, don't worry about the details.
Just go! This is the part where we rush the enemy.
I love that.
I got the vibe that the actor was near the set that day filming something else and he dropped by and he wouldn't leave. So it's like, look, hey, we know you never got a crossover, so what do you say we put you in this for a bit?
And then
we'll give you a day rate. It'll be fine. Just get out of here and let us finish shooting
and
this.
Then you de-transform. And like when everybody else is having their little wrap-up, he's off in the corner just hugging his own legs.
Oh my god, I can't believe they did that. Like, he runs out of the movie.
I mean, it's absolutely within character.
But, like, here's the thing. Keiichiro and Lucky are, like, chasing each other and, like, trying to, like, one-up each other with compliments. The camera pans over and he is just in, like, the fetal position, crouched on the ground. And he's just there. Nobody notices him. Nobody points him out. Nobody makes mention of him at all. And then it cuts to a close-up and he's gone, but then we cut to the wide shot and he's still there. You see him for a second as the camera pans back over.
Fade to black.
It was so good. Also, I love how the special is more or less split up. Mm-hmm. Because the first half is more Lupinranger, the second half is more Patranger.
By the way, this is the only case where we will accept that because we're dealing with 3 Sentai teams here.
Yeah, you get split up a little.
There's a lot of people.
At the end of this, there are 20 people.
Oh my goodness!
And oh my god!
I need to talk about
the roll call and how it's like 3.5 minutes.
Well, here's the thing. I think
so
the roll call. I was like, I remember as soon as I think it was the Patrangers finished. It was like that's when it hit me.
You're gonna have to go through the entire Kyuranger cast.
This gonna be a while. But then it was like, I thought it was okay because the Kyuranger roll call is like everyone.
They sped it up.
It's not just that it's sped up, but everyone's like thing that they do and say is like a couple of words, and it moves pretty quickly, and then I feel like that carries over well from that. I was gonna talk about when they finished the Armage clone, and you know how when you're playing, many of you may know this as well. If you're playing a video game, usually an RPG, and you stock everyone's super move for the boss, and then it's like, well, I think he's got enough health left.
that scene.
I'm gonna, and it's every single person using their finishers at once on him.
So you're like, oh, you're fucked.
And it goes on for like 2 minutes of them powering up, changing into the right form, getting everything ready, hitting the right stuff. Everything's gotta say its thing. And then it's just like one giant middle finger from God just coming down and squishing this guy.
Unfortunately, there is not a YouTube clip of the roll call from this movie. Wait, there's a 30-second clip of their transformation, but not the full roll call.
That's not the thing. Yeah, it's so good though. Because you can tell all of that happens at the same time.
And because the mech fight happens afterward, it's like you use all your finishes on the boss, and then he goes, "Ha! That wasn't my final form."
This is my.
And then you have to fight him again.
But then that boss fight only lasts for like 30 seconds because they just use VSX to everybody.
So quick.
Which is a good thing.
Why even have it?
You gotta tell the story somehow.
Jeez, I mean, if you're gonna go through all of that to finish him off, I feel like that's a good place to stop.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like they should do that. Weirdly enough, I think the last one they really had like a good mech fight besides Goseiger was a Kyuranger because they had to go out to space.
I would also say Zenkaiger.
I was talking about the team-up movie.
Well, I'm just talking about in general,
but yeah, it's just a fun. They had some really good little moments in here too. When Tsurugi first comes in, and then like go away to another scene, they come back, and he's sitting in Hilltop's chair, and Hilltop's just like.
Dude,
just Tsurugi things.
Dude, that's not cool. That's my chair. That's my chair.
That wouldn't explain why there's someone in my place in the dark sitting in my second favorite chair. Show me 2 clips that have the same energy.
But yeah, I like this special. I think it's fun. Yeah, I will say,
I miss this. The ending where they're all doing, where it's everyone doing the Kyuranger dance. This really made me miss the pelvic thrust. Yes. More than the show proper itself. More than the show proper itself. This ending.
Also, just
I wanted to see everyone get into this one.
Just a quick thing. Kairi never meets Lucky in this. I don't even really think he ever meets Tsurugi, for that matter.
I don't think so, because the Lupinrangers are off getting captured and doing their own thing with Balance and Naga for the most part.
And then they meet the other 3. And then Umika calls them a box of crayons because they have so many colors.
She's not wrong.
I'm about to say, where's the accuracy?
How many different shades of yellow are there in a crayon box?
But yeah, it's fun.
Especially if your parents were really nice and they got you the super big one.
I think
good times.
I think this versus was written a lot better than a lot of other ones. It actually showed off both teams. It was fun. It was funny. It's honestly my second favorite one.
What's your favorite?
In recent memory, LupatKyuu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that's honestly
we'll talk about that when we get to Ryu
Soldier. Yeah, I think that's honestly the better version of this, and this was already pretty good.
So join us in a few months when we change one whole letter of the title.
It's true. It's very true. It's accurate. But yeah, that's what we think of these two
You need to put the full title of the movie in the title of this video.
You need to put the full title that we came up with earlier.
LupatKyuu Nigo?
That was the really, really long one where we were adding a bunch of stuff. Never mind.
Oh.
I don't remember.
Featuring Knuckles.
Yeah.
Oh, that
one, yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was thinking like an actual title, not the fan fiction we were coming up with on the fly.
But yeah, let us know what you think about the specials in this case.
In the comments down below.
Yeah. And
tell us what your favorite crossover specials are.
Yeah.
But as always, like us on all the things, or follow us on all the things. Hit the like button if you want. We appreciate it.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Subscribe. And have a great time. Thank you so much. Bye.
Don't forget our Patreon.
Thank you for watching.